Hey everybody, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. This is Sweezy's World. Could be your world. Hey, look, I hope you're enjoying the weather, man. The weather's really beautiful today. It's like, I don't know, almost 90 degrees here. Can't go wrong. Clear skies, no rain. Love it. Hey, look, this channel, I talk about things that interest me, and, why not? But I hope sometimes they may interest you. Now, one thing that kind of has been bugging me here lately, and I don't understand why the left is even making an issue of it, right? And maybe it's me, but what is it? Qatar gifts the United States Air Force a freaking 747 luxury liner, and Trump is going to take possession of it. So why is the far left so upset about this? I mean, other countries take gifts from us. Our freaking Air Force One is like 40 years freaking old. The one that they had ordered, 6 years ago, they stopped. So, I mean, hey, why not take a gift from another freaking country? It just so happens to be a $400 million airplane. So what? They would have to almost tear it apart nut and bolts to make it safe, for an acting president to even fly it. I mean, there's so much they would have to do. The odds are this aircraft will probably not fly with the president on it. You got the far left saying, well, when President Trump leaves office, he's taking it with him. And he's going to use it. He don't have to use it. He's got his own aircraft. What's he going to do with it? And he said this over and over and over again. He's going to put it in a presidential library. Reagan has a Air Force One in his presidential library. What's the problem? I don't get it. Why are they trying to stand on a big old hill being so upset? If Biden would have got this gift, everything had been cool. So go figure. And that interests me. I just don't get why they make such a big whoop whoop out of it. And number two, I guess, why is it that lower federal judges, that 680 some of them across the United States, if one of them doesn't like the president's agenda or hates the president, which a lot of them evidently do because they're really far left, what gives them the authority to stop a president, a government, from doing something on a national basis? I mean, on a national basis, if this guy over here in Washington State says, I don't like what they're doing, and he can put an injunction on the entire country and stop the government from working? No, they can't do that. And hopefully the Supreme Court will vote on that because common sense would say they don't have it. Now, in their districts, they're the grand poobahs of lawyers or judges. But what do they care? They don't have that authority. And hopefully, like I said, the Supreme Court will come down with a ruling and saying, no, they've overstepped their bounds and they don't have any authority doing that on a national basis. Just saying. President is now overseas, right? He's doing a trio stop over there in the Middle East. He's gotten over from Qatar, I guess Qatar maybe, a freaking $1 trillion, sale on airplanes and a lot of other equipment that they're going to put back in this country. Yet the Democrats are upset about that. Why is that? Why is the far left worried about that? I don't get it. This interests me. I just don't understand. I don't get the problem, other than the fact that from day one, they've not liked this administration, period, because they lost power and they're power hungry. And that's to be the only reason. Hakeem Jeffries, who's way out there, I mean, the guy looks like he hasn't slept in 6 years. And maybe he hasn't. But he's talking off the wall crap. The far left is talking a lot of off the wall crap. They misconstrue everything that they hear. I don't get it. I mean, think of what we could accomplish in this country and on a world stage if more or less everybody kind of come together for the common good of the people of the country, those that elected these yahoos. They keep thinking They're going to stall and not do anything because they don't like the administration. But what about the people that elected them? They're not doing anything for them either. They're not. AOC, just for one. She goes back to her area in New York. She politics, gets elected, and then leaves, never comes back. When it's time to get reelected again, she comes back, hands them a line of crap, and then leaves and doesn't do anything for them. You know, the squad, none of these people have done anything or passed any law or any legislation because they don't want to give the administration some kind of a win. I don't get it. It's for the good of the people, Democrats, Republicans, everybody. But they won't do their job. They'd rather sit there on Yahoo and bitch and moan and groan and try to break into an ICE facility. And then that was just pure stagemanship, right? That was a photo op. And it was set up to be a photo op. And of course, they got their 2-3 minutes of fame. It's stupid. You know, those trying to get into that ICE, all they had to do was make a phone call and say, we want to come and look around. And they would just let them on in and they'll go look around. No, they had to do it the other way. That interests me. I don't get it. I just don't get why these people do this. I mean, why in the heck can't we just put everybody on one big page and say, look, let's do this for the American people. Let's lower taxes. Let's increase wages. You know what? Why not? They don't want to do that. They want to bitch, moan, and groan, hum, haul, and all that kind of crap. And try to hold up everything because they got their feelings hurt and they had to give up power, at least for 4 years. Now, I believe they keep acting out the way they are, and I hope they keep continuing doing what they do, because if they do and they don't stop what they're doing, they ain't never going to get reelected anything. They're just not. No people on earth would vote for these kind of nuts. They just wouldn't. That's my opinion. Just my opinion only. No opinion of nobody else. But like I said, some of this stuff, it blows my mind. They're so upset that he's over in the Middle East making deals. He made an arms deal with Saudi Arabia. He's selling them all kinds of stuff, making buku bucks for America. Get rid of the old stuff. We can make new stuff because we need new stuff. We got all this stuff hanging around. We've been giving tons of it to Ukraine. Has it really helped them any? No. They're not winning the war, nor, I guess, are they losing the war. But they're not doing anything. So why not make a lot of money and let some of these, Middle Eastern countries that have, maybe are somewhat feeling good. Why not let them, why not we make some money off of them? Why not? I mean, what's wrong with that? I don't get it. Another thing, real quick. I don't understand why the far left wants to get behind and jump on an anthill and say, we're going to protect murderers, rapists, killers. Illegal. They're illegal. They shouldn't be here anyways. But look what they're doing. And yet the left wants to, oh no, they can't do that to these people. Why? Why do they care? Why do they care? Truth? They don't. They don't give a hoot about none of that. It's all Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's just all Hollywood. It's big photo ops, and they think it's doing them justice, and it's really not. So, anyways, that's just my 2 cents here for Thursday, and I hope everybody's had a really great day. I really appreciate y'all stopping by, man. I really do. I hope y'all got this far and listened to some of this as I rattle on here. But like I said, I just don't get why the other side is all for the criminal element and not for the people of America. They're not. They're just not. So, all right, then, hey, look, it's nothing but love for you guys. I truly mean it. Until next time, be safe out there, all right? And we'll talk at you later.